Welcome to Cloud FastPath, the fastest, most reliable, most secure way to move your data where you need them to be. Maybe you're migrating to a different storage system, backing up, or synchronizing. Maybe you're moving your data from an on-premise to a cloud system, or between two cloud systems, or even among a complex array of systems. No matter what, Cloud FastPath makes sure your data is where you need it, when you need it, all with a simple user interface. Today we're going to show you how to move some data from your Windows on-premise file server to your Box account, including mapping the ownership and permissions of those files and folders to the appropriate Box accounts, users, and groups. Here on the Cloud FastPath dashboard, we have our points of presence already set up, connecting our Windows file server with the easy-to-install Cloud FastPath agent to the two cloud-based points of presence that CFP provides you to make sure that the data moves into the Box system quickly, efficiently, and reliably. To get started, we're going to create a new job. We'll call this job Homes and Group Folders. Now before we get started, we see that we've already got the Windows drives that were detected when we installed our agent attached and ready to use in our job. But we need to connect to our Box account. So we'll create a new system, choose from the vast array of Cloud FastPath connectors. We'll choose the point of presence that's closest to the system that we're loading data into. We'll authenticate with our Box account, giving Cloud FastPath access to write these files and folders into our team folders and accounts. Now that we have all of our systems connected, we simply choose which ones we're using in this particular job by dragging them from the tray at the bottom into the drop areas here at the top of the screen. So choosing our Box admin account as the target of our job and the D drive on our Windows file server as the source. Now within this D drive, we want to choose the files and folders that we're going to migrate as a part of this job. Again, here we have a handful of department folders and team folders, as well as some users' home directories. So we'll just select both of those. On the Box side, we could also choose a destination folder to put all of these files and folders into, so that when users do log in, everything's located in a nice self-contained folder. And lastly, in the job settings, we'll enable our account mapping feature, which will allow us to preserve the file ownership and permissions of those files as they're transferred from Windows to Box. We go about doing this in a three-step process. First, by generating an account mapping. This is going to do a dry run simulation of our job, analyzing all of the files and folders that we selected from the D drive of our Windows file server, getting a list of all of those files, the users that own them, and the groups and users that they're shared with, as well as a list of all of the groups and users that exist in our Box account. Once this process completes, we go back into our job configuration, and we download this mapping file that was produced by that analysis. We open this up in Excel, and here we see that list of owners of all of the files that existed on the file server and the target accounts that we can map those files into here on the right. We simply choose who should take ownership of these group folders, as well as what the corresponding Box account is for individual users that may not have been auto-detected. For simplicity, we're just going to move most of these into this one account. The group sheet similarly shows all of the groups that were detected from the Windows side, as well as the target groups that are available on the Box side to choose from. And we simply select what groups we should use for mapping purposes on the target. Lastly, the permission sheet lists all of the files and folders that exist on the Windows side, who owns them, and what permissions exist from Windows. This allows us to confirm that the files and folders, when they get to Box, will have the exact permissions that we want them to, as well as to detect any potential incompatibilities between the Windows file systems and Box waterfall permissioning capabilities. Where the permissioning scheme is not able to be mapped directly, we can take a few options, including skipping that path entirely, specifying a different account or path to move those into explicitly, or modifying the default permission map that was generated. Once we've made all the changes that we want to make, we simply save this file off, go back to Cloud FastPath, and upload it. Now our job's fully configured and ready to run. We can either do so immediately, or we can use the scheduling capability of Cloud FastPath to set up either a date and time to run this job in the future, possibly with a recurrence to have it run on a repeated basis, or to have this job triggered by the execution of another job. In this case, we're ready to run our job immediately, so we'll just close this out, click the play button here on the dashboard, and our job gets started. Now, as we are moving the data, it's important to note that this data is being moved directly from the Windows file server to the cloud point of presence here that's part of my job, and then directly into the Box account. So your data never hits the cloud FastPath servers in any way. It's completely secure and only available to you. While our job is running, we can get information about the status of this job by clicking on the job name. And here we see some summary metrics and statistics about how quickly the files are going, the count of any files that have been transferred, both in terms of file size and file count. For additional detailed information, I can go into the history view here and see a nice graphical representation of how my job is progressing. Additionally, I can click on the View Files Transferred list for this instance of the job and see a list of all the files that are being transferred, what the status of them were, how quickly they moved through, additional detailed metrics, information about each file here as well. And that's all there is to it. If you do have any questions along the way, you can just open up the help and get immediate guidance from our support team. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check out our website to hear about all the other features of Cloud FastPath.